So hello and welcome you guys to this brand new video in which I want to showcase you how good the Utopia deck actually is, and in the end of this combo I want to show you how I am playing the deck, what my ratios are, and I'm going to explain everything and why I'm doing this. And yeah, this is an example of a hand which is a quite nice hand. We actually need for this whole combo, we need the either Onomatopoeia or the Onomato card that searches Onomatopoeia. Then we need a random discard, could be for example this card that is an extender or so. Then we need one of the Onomato cards, e- either this card or one Gagaga Gogogo Glove or um, Gagaga Cloak, I think it's called. And we're playing every single card at 3, so we have 9 cards that could be this card, 6 that can be this card. Then we need a free extender, could be this card, could be this card, or could be also an Astratopia. The good thing about Astratopia is that this card can search us the number counter trap, which is obviously also another benefit for this whole combo. And if we draw into another extender like these two, then the number counter trap could be also a card that we draw, like have directly in our hand. So we actually don't even need a Strotopia, we just need another extender. So this is very consistent, and I'm going to showcase you how broken this board is actually going to be. So we're going to use the Blue Mountain Butter Spy and the Shade Brigandine as discard cards. So we don't even actually need to special summon them in any way. It's that broken, it's that consistent. Like we actually need only 4 cards to do our full combo, and one of these 4 cards is a discard for the Onomatopoeia. So we actually basically only need 3 cards, and this card is just on top because this card can search us the number counter trap, and discard to search a number counter trap he needs to discard any card. So this is also another random discard. So 2 cards that are just discards, and these 3 that basically gives us the whole combo. So I'm going to showcase you how this is going to work. So we are going to activate it, discarding this card for example, and searching the other 2 uh, components. So the Gagaga Coat and the Gogogo Glove. There we go. So now we're gonna normal summon the Onomatopoeia. As I said, there could be another extender. We're going to talk about the extra deck, the whole deck, after I've shown you this combo, so you know what I'm actually talking about. So now we're gonna special summon these 2. That's the crazy thing about this. And now we're going to Xyz summon the first card using these 2, because the Gagaga Code can actually special summon us ourselves this card from our graveyard. And then as we have a monster that is Subababa Gagaga Gogogo or Dododo, this card can also revive itself from the graveyard. So as both are going to hit the graveyard now, this is perfect for us. And we were going to special summon the ZS Utopic Sage. So like that, and activating its effect. Both hit the grave, and we're gonna special summon this set is Ascended Sage. And now we can activate this card's effect to special summon the Onomatopoeia. And now as we have the card on board, we can actually special summon the Gogogo Glove. So actually, out of 3 cards basically, now we have 4 uh, level 4 and a free Utopic Sage on board. So next off, we're going to special summon with now every 2 cards that we want, except for this card, into this Gallant Granite. And this card will search us our Gigantes. Now we have to discard a Earth monster, which is important. So not the Onomatopoeia, because we need an Earth target. Going to search for the Gigantes. Could also be this card actually, but obviously Gigantes as it's the free special summon. And we're going to banish that card. And now we have this on board. Perfect. Now we're going to special summon our first monster, which is the F-Zero over here. and rank it up for our F0 Utopic Future Dragon. Utopic Draco Future, there we go. This is already an Omni Negate for monster effects. And also if he activates an effect on board, this card takes control of the monster if it wants to. And it's not going to go back, and we can use the effects and attack and everything. And it has also destructive protection, like from battle or card effects, so he needs to actually maybe targeting banish it or targeting bounce it or whatever. So now we get to special summon this card actually. And as I said, this card can be any extender right now. And yeah, and if we have the counter trap already, then that's also fine. But now as we have this card, we can discard the random card to get ourselves a number protection on board. So this is an Omni Negate, like literally Omni Negate, and if a number XZ monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, this card can be set to our side of the field again. Uh, but you can only use one of these effects, so it's not going to be like a counter trap activation and then he destroys something and then it gets set again. No, you have to actually, it has to be destroyed on your side of the field. But you can trigger it on your own if you ran into something, for example. So now we're going to special summon out of these two, the Abyss Dweller, which is a very, very nice floodgate, which doesn't let your opponent activate any card effects in their grave, which shuts down a lot of decks as well. So already a broken board, if I would say so, but it's going to be even crazier. Now this is the combo why I'm playing Utopia Double at 2, and yeah, this is just insane what you're gonna see. Now this card will trigger, which is the Ascended Sage, because it got special summoned or used for a special summon of a Utopia monster. It will actually trigger the search for a rank up spell, and we can also chain block the effect in theory with the Utopia double that will now special summon a Utopia monster with another yeah, just another Utopia monster basically. No, we're not gonna activate Abyss Dweller, obviously. Now, obviously, Utopia Double will first of all search us the double or nothing. We're going to play it at 2, because if we hard draw it, then this combo is dead. So we actually need to play this at 2, and also I'm playing 2 double or nothing. So if it's our turn again, double or nothing, and we can also build the Utopia double again. We're going to go for Utopia Drachna, which is insane because it will now hit the board with 6,000 attack points as it's being special summoned by Utopia double. It only has the downside that it cannot attack your opponent directly, but that's not a huge problem. So now we're gonna search us the rank up magic Zexal. Obviously, if we already have drawn into it, then this is basically unnecessary, but this card is also a very nice rank up. So but in theory, we don't even need to play this, but still a nice rank up card, and I'm going to explain why I'm also playing this. So this card can now, as it says, cannot attack directly, discard 2 cards, which is perfect because we have both cards. And now we're gonna special summon the number 99 Utopic Dragon, which is actually quite a nice card because it has 4,000 attack points and gets us to special summon the Utopia Double, which we used for the effect of this from our graveyard, which is perfect because that's a free monster on board, which can be used for our rank up that we've searched before. So this is a very insane combo. So we're gonna use it onto the number 39 Utopia Double to get ourselves the ultimate Leo Utopia Ray, which is another insane boss monster. And now we have to like show or put one on top of it, doesn't really matter. Gonna discard a card to activate its effect to equip one ZW card from our deck or extra deck. If we draw into this card, it doesn't matter because we still have this card to back it up. So this card will get its negation effect anyway. But this card is even better because if we can equip this card, this is another on-field monster negate. So this card is a monster on-field negate right now, which will also halve your opponent's attack points from the monster it actually negated as a quick effect. And this card is even more insane. And if you read it, you'll be like, okay, once per turn, while this card is equipped to a monster, you can negate a monster effect activated on your opponent's field. You might think that that's as it's an equip spell or spell, so it's spell speed 1, you can only activate it on your turn. No, no, no. You couldn't be further from the truth because this card can be activated in any situation. Like it doesn't even have to chain, or it doesn't chain at all on a monster effect. Let's assume he normal summons Oviraptor and has Lost Word, so he can chain block. So in theory, maybe we couldn't Ash, for example, the Oviraptor, but this card is actually able to, uh, no matter the the chain is that is happening, as soon as this card's effect would activate, this card can just say, no, I want this effect to be negated, and that's everything, and he can't do anything against it. It's basically uh, so difficult to respond to this card because you can't chain on it. It just declares that it's negated and that's it. It doesn't start a chain. It doesn't chain at all. It's insane. So this card is actually broken, and if your opponent doesn't know that, he will read the card and say, "Ah, okay, it's only one negate from this guy." But then he's going to maybe normal summon a card, activate its effect, and then you just say, no, your effect is negated because of this card, and I'll just declare it, and then now it's negated. So it's actually fucking broken. And also, you can activate this effect again if it's your turn, if he doesn't remove this card, which is actually bonkers. And now this is our end board, obviously with the number protection as well set, which is a normally negate, as I said, and double or nothing in our hand, so that if we special summon 2 level 4 monsters again on our turn, then we can actually special summon number 39 Utopia, the OG one, and then activate double or nothing to negate the attack of, for example, Utopia Dragonar, which will now then have 12,000 attack points and can basically run over everything and kill your opponent for game, which is insane. And this card also, as I said, will half the attack of an opponent's monster. So even if he gets to special summon a monster with 8,000 attack, this card will halve it, so it's 4,000, and this card has 12,000. 12,000 minus 4,000 is 8,000, so it's lethal in any way or shape. It's just insane. Um, and yeah, this is basically the combo. This is your whole board. You have 3 monster negates, 2 of them on field, one that almost can't be responded to, one that halves your opponent's attack points of that monster, one that is an Omni monster negate and can also uh, get the control of your opponent's monster. You could now maybe say, okay, then maybe why didn't you special summon Abyss Dweller over here so you can take control of the opponent's monster? Yeah, maybe that's a reason to special summon it here, but maybe you're also playing against Cyber Dragons and this card can be, or no, it actually can be activated after the draw phase, so in the standby phase of your opponent. Yeah, you should definitely special summon this card over here. So this card has a free zone that so that you can special summon the card of your opponent over here. So this is my fault right now, but now that I've clarified it, you just should special summon Abyss Dweller here because after its activated effect, it's basically useless. It's just having 1,400 defense. Doesn't matter. And this is an Omni negate also, which also destroys the card. So it's actually broken. This board is insane, and you have so much attack points that you can basically run over everything. This card has also an effect which you can't forget. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can just change the attack of that opponent's monster to 0, which just says, okay, whatever. If you want to go into the battle phase and remove something, nah, not gonna happen. This card is just preventing you of doing that. This also has another cool effect. During other player's turn, when a monster effect is activated, it targets this face-up card, detach a material, but as it doesn't have a material, this card won't trigger that effect, so it doesn't matter. But it can happen that this card has a material, but that's just for very specific reasons. Because you could basically special summon this card on top of everything, as it says on the text. So yeah. All right, this is the board. I hope you enjoy this board. I definitely do, and it's very consistent, as I already mentioned. Um, this is icing on the cake. Like if you draw into it, or if your card that you're using for your free special summon as a level 4 monster is the Astraltopia, then any card you discard gets you into numbers protection. Um, but this is icing on the cake, as I said. But it's actually quite insane if you for example, would get heavy stormed or so, heavy stormed, lightning storm, then this card is actually obviously going to save your ass. So yeah, just a thing to keep in mind. Now let's exit and get into our deck. And this is the whole deck. So we're playing, as I said, every single card of these at 3 because we want to hard draw into at least one of it. And we want to hard draw into this. So we actually get to special summon um, the monsters twice again, with one with Gagaga Code and one with Gogogo Glove. If we don't draw in any of these, but draw into these cards in any way, shape, or form, maybe only this card or this card, it's also just quite broken because you can also just pick up Onomatopoeia and this card, and then you would special summon, normal summon this card to special summon this card, and then you will rank up 2 cards with your extender and your Onomatopoeia. So this card is in your grave, and now this card can also special summon this card from your grave. So it's actually still possible to combo off in any way. Um, so if you don't draw into them, it's no big deal, and you just have to draw into these basically. But if you don't draw into these, but have multiples of these in your hand, that's also quite good, because let's just pretend you have one of each, then it's basically the hand that I explained beforehand, that you just have to have one of those and this card or this card that searches you the other two. So if you draw into one of each, that's also good. Or if you would draw into this card and this card, that's also combo. Or this card and this card is also combo. Even this and this, because they can special summon themselves as well. So in any way, shape, or form, they are just perfect draws. So just play them at 3. The Onomato package is just too strong, and this card also at 3. This card is a free special summon of a if you control no card, so be sure to special summon it before you activate Onomato Pickup, because otherwise you can't special summon it. And that's the only special summon that yeah, you have that requires you to have an empty board, so it's obviously it doesn't conflict with anything. And yeah, it's basically a free special summon. You have to consider it as a card that you have to play at 3, in my opinion, because um, if you hard draw, let's pretend you have only one in your deck and you hard draw it, then this card won't be able to special summon you another extender that you will need. So because it can only special summon from your deck, which is very bad. So you actually have to play it at 3, um, or maybe at 2, but I would just play it at 3 because it's a free extender. Why wouldn't you? It's a free card. Just play it at 3. Um, Now, Astrotopia is another great crazy card because it can, yes, be special summoned if you control an XZ monster, which is obviously going to happen all the time because you basically can't brick with this deck. You will always have an XZ monster, so this card is also a free special summon. And it has the card effect to add you a Zexal trap, which could be also the rank up. So if you don't get into your Ascended Sage to search your rank up, doesn't matter because this card can search it. Let's go. Um, in theory, it could also search you an Onomat card, which would be like this card or this card. But let's be honest, if you have this card on board, then you obviously have already normal summoned something. So these cards will search you these, yeah, that's right, but they can't be special summoned because they don't have an they can't special summon themselves easily. They have to be either normal summoned or, for example, Goblin Berg that special summons it, and then it's alive. So yeah, just so you keep that in mind. It's basically there for the free extender and to get you to your number counter trap. Goblin Berg, this is a debatable card. If you're playing against meta and you know that you're going to yeah, hit Effect Veiler, Imperm, Ash, and stuff like that. That not Ash, but everything else. Then this card obviously can ruin your day because it's your normal summon and you don't get into these cards, and then it's basically game over. Obviously, if you have this card as an extender or this or the Battle Spy as an extender, then it's not over yet. So you get to special summon 2 level 4s and it's okay. But yeah, just make sure that this card can be your Bane of Existence. You could play something like Astro Kuribo. I personally don't play it because it locks you into number monsters, and if I want to do this Go 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 Gaga Ga engine, then this card hinders me to get to my place. So this is just my personal take that this card can sometimes ruin your day because it locks you into number monsters. But yeah, it's just personal preference. This card can obviously unbrick you and play around hand traps because it's just a free special summon. So yeah, maybe you would play this card at 2 or 1 and play multiples of the Astro Karibo because it's also actually searchable via reinforcements of the army. So I could see why you would play this at 1 or 2, but I'm playing it with friends and I know that they're just not going to play hand traps because we sometimes decide to not play hand traps in our format. Um, Now the Blue Mountain Butter Spy, if you normal summon anything, this card is a free special summon. It's also a warrior, which comes in handy, but yeah, just in general, quite nice card. Level 4 gets you into your rank 4s. If you normal summon the Goblinberg or one of these guys, you will always be able to special summon this card. So it's a 3 of, in my opinion. This card is a 2 of, um, because if you draw into multiples and you really just get to normal summon, like let's say one level 4 card, then this card is dead because you need 2 cards on board. Um, so yeah, if you get ashed with Goblinberg, for example, you would only have one level 4 card, and this card then isn't an extender. So it's kind of a tricky card, but in most cases you will have 2 monsters on board, and then it's the free extender that you need. So I would even suggest to play this at 2. Um, but yeah, could be an argument against it as well. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Also, Astro Kuribo here being a good option to play instead of this card. But as I said, the downside of just being able to special summon number monsters sometimes is really annoying. And I obviously played this card at 3 and then decided to cut it down and actually play Goblinberg, which I didn't play beforehand. But yeah, I I'm going to talk about everything. Now, Gigantis is a one-off because we want to search it via Gallant Granite, and as you saw it in my combo, it's a very important card. If you hard draw it, then you don't need to get into Gallant Granite. You can actually special summon whatever suits you. It's as long as it's just a number, not a number, XZ, to get into your F0 play. But I will obviously always go into this card because I want to be able to special summon the Abyss Dweller in the end. So this is obviously the card that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to search like something like Go 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 Glove for later plays or so. So it's yeah, if you hard draw it, it's not a huge deal. This card, as I already said, is the broken negate, and if you hard draw into it, it's a pity you can't get it into your deck again. Um, it's unfortunate, but then you have to equip this card to your ultimate Leo Utopia Ray. It basically has its on-field monster negate as well alive, and this card boosts this card to 5500 attack, which is quite nice. And if you attack with this card and destroy a monster by battle, this card gives you the option to special summon itself, and then it can obviously attack another monster with 3000 attack. So, which is quite nice, I would say, because it happens in the battle phase. Um, yeah, but it says cannot attack directly, so just keep that in mind. It's only there for attacking other monsters. But at, at least your Leo Utopia Ray has the negate alive, which is kind of important. Um, yeah, then these cards I've already talked about. Double or Nothing is a 2-off, very important. You don't want to hard draw into it, but if it happens, then your combo would be dead if you would only play one. Yeah, the rank up can be played at 1, no worries, and you'll only special summon this card once. So yeah, just a one-off. This card can come in handy um, because I will talk about it later. Let me just get to the other cards. This is just a Rhoda. This card is a free special summon. You don't want to draw into multiples of it, so just play it at 2. It's a free extender. Um, yeah, and if you hard draw into it later, also is not the best card because you might have number protection in your grave already, or activated one Shade Brigandine beforehand. So yeah, just play it at 2. It's good enough at 2, I would say. And Numbers Protection is also a card that can recover itself. Um, you want to draw into it, but you don't want to draw into multiples of it because it has a hard ones per turn. So, and you can also search it with Astrotopia. So just play it as a 2-off. If you only play it at 1, you don't see it that regularly, and Astrotopia might not have a target to, yeah, to get to you another card of it. So the 2-off ratio is perfect for me. Now we get into our extra deck. And this card will be explained after I get into my extra deck. So this card is the card that special summons you number monster between 1 and 100, which will special summon you this card in the combo that special summons you your Utopia double from your grave to get into this card, and that's basically what you saw. This card can also special summon number 38. So let's pretend your board is or your hand is so trash that you can only special summon 2 monsters, 2 level 4 monsters. What are you going to do? Gallant Granite? Oh no. The Utopic Sage? Nothing happening. Abyss Dweller? Okay, but no, this isn't enough. So I would suggest to, or I would always do that, go into Utopia Double, which special summons number 99, and number 99 then discards, detaches 2 cards and special summons you number 38. So you have a 6000 attack beatstick, which can't be run over, which has the effect of getting to an opponent's monster, change its attack to 0, which is a cool interruption as well. And number 38, which can make that so that your opponent has to attack this card, and also is obviously the spell negate. And in my opinion, these 2 cards on board, number 99 and number 38, is the least this deck would be able to do, because really, it's honestly, it's not going to happen that you would only special summon 2 level 4 monsters, but let's pretend you got disrupted or something, that this is the play to go. Let's say Goblin Bird got ashed and you only have 1 extender, for example, this card, and then it's 2 level 4s, and you could basically just give up. uh, no, you don't have to give up. You can do this card and then this card, and you still have your other 3 cards in hand. So for later plays, you will be able to get back to the combos. Um, Number 100. You might be thinking, well, you're not playing number 97. How are you going to special summon this card? It's actually quite simple. If you hit into your Utopia double, or even number 39 Utopia, but build it with, let's say, Z as Ascended Sage, you're going to search this card, for example. Let's say you're going second, or you already went first, and now it's your turn again. You would search into this card, and then just activate it on top of your number 39 Utopia double or the number 39 Utopia, it doesn't matter, and directly special summon the number 99. Not via the effect of Utopia double, but via the effect of this card, because it can special summon a rank 10 or higher Utopia or Utopic monster, which this card obviously is, and it needs a just ranked 9 or lower Utopia XZ monster you control. So it can actually also being done by a reborn number monster, for example. Doesn't matter. And this card will be able to rank up into this card. And now the magic is going to happen. You are also going to detach 2 cards to special summon the number 100 directly. Now what will happen is that this card has another effect. If an XZ monster um, that was special summoned via or is rank 10 or higher, um, excuse me, let's just read the text. If a monster is special summoned by the effect of a rank 10 or higher Utopia or Utopic XZ monster, while this card is in your graveyard, you can target one of those special summoned monsters, so number 100, attach this card to it as a material. So if this card special summons this card will actually be able to attach to number 100. So this card can obviously detach a card to get to 13,000 attack points at least, because number 99 is rank 12, this card is rank 1, so it's obviously 13,000 attack points. And let's be honest, even if he has a monster with 5,000 attack points, this card will be able to run over it, and deal the 8000 damage for lethal. Um, and you might also have another XC monster on board, or he might have another XC monster on board, so this card gets even bigger. So this is the combo, and this is why you could play this card at 1. You don't want to draw into it, obviously, but just for the potential to go second and just kill your opponent, because you really just need 2 level 4 monsters, and either hard draw into this or search it via this card. Yeah. Um, yeah, these cards I've already explained. This is your negate. This is this card, which can attach to it. These cards you need for the F0 combo and to get into your Ascended Sage to be able to search the rank up Sexaforce. Um, yeah, this card is just to be able to activate your double or nothing that you've searched out of Utopia double. This card would actually be the first card that I would cut if I were you, and I have some options over here. This is the F0 package, and this is Abyss Dweller, which is the best generic level 4 that we can make if we get to special summon 2 level 4 monsters on top, which would be the ideal scenario, obviously. So the Time Thief Redoer could be another option instead of number 39, because you're playing the Shade Brigandine, so you could obviously activate the trap effect and place one face-up card your opponent controls on top of the deck, which is such a nice removal option. And this card gets back and just grinds, and is very nice to have. Um, yeah, but for me, if I have the 2 level 4 to extend, I would go into Abyss Dweller. And if you don't draw into this card, then the Time Thief Redoer would just waste a slot in your extra deck, and your extra deck is very tight, as you can see. Now, another thing you could do is play number 106 for the on-field monster negate, but let's face it, F0 is your monster negate, your Utopia Ray is a monster on-field negate, and this card is the on-field monster negate, so you don't need another on-field monster negate. Let's just say it like that. Gagaga Magician could be nice if you're um, yeah, are going second, or just build your going first deck and got disrupted or whatever. You have one rank 4 in your graveyard, then you could go into Gagaga Magician to special summon that rank 4 again and to get into your F0. But it's not going to happen, and you just don't have the extra deck space. Another card that could be nice is Zeus. You could actually cut out the number 39 Utopia for having the option of going into Zeus, but I rarely really build it, and more often I build the number 39 to get into my double or nothing to get the OTK with Utopia Dragonair. Um, yeah, that's just another option. Now these cards are able to being special summoned via the rank up quick spell from the Phantom Knights. And the idea was that you would special summon the Utopia Dragonair, then special summon Utopic Dragon, then special summon from your graveyard the Utopia Double. Until there, everything is as you know it. Then you would activate this card that you've searched out of your Ascended Sage instead of the Zex, the rank up force, and activate it on top of your Utopia Double from your graveyard to actually special summon Utopia Kaiser. And Utopia Kaiser would then special summon number 98 from your extra deck, which is the Diablosis card, which wouldn't have an Xe material on it. So if you hard draw into your counter trap rank up, or you would search it via uh, this card here, Zexu Construction, and Zexu Construction could also be searched via Astrolotopia, which can also search as a Zexu card, so this card also counts as it. You would be able to just in your opponent's turn, because Utopia Kaiser actually locks you out of special summoning for the rest of the turn, and the special summoned monsters effects are negated, so number 89 is actually just a dead card. It's just there to rank up into Kali Yuga, and Kali Yuga is an insta-win. So let's just show you number 89. It's a rank 7 dark XE monster, which can be special summoned via number 93 Utopia Kaiser, which can special summon a rank 9 or lower number XD monster with 3000 attack or less, which is obviously the case. And then you could special summon into Kali Yuga via the Phantom Knight uh, quick spell, which is this card that needs a Dark Extreme monster without a material to special summon one Dark Extreme monster that is one rank higher. So Kali Yuga fits that exact thing. And Kali Yuga is an insta win because it actually just, if it's exile summoned in your opponent's main phase via the spell, then this card can shut down your effects from your, yeah, every single effect on board, basically. Um, so yeah, he can't activate spells or traps or monsters, anything. It's just very, very annoying. And it's basically an insta win, to be honest. And even if he plays a spell or trap deck and just sets everything, you get to discard the only card that is on him, which is number 89, and then just, yeah, clear his whole spell and traps. So it really doesn't matter. This card is just insane. But I decided to not play this package because I personally think that this is toxic and it's just not fun. It's not playing with your opponent. It's just, yeah, I summoned this, I won. But if you want to go onto a tournament, you might consider this as an alternative and even play the rank up at 3 because if you draw into the rank up, then you are able to do this whole shenanigan. But I personally don't like it. But that's the only use for number 93, because otherwise the other target that you could special summon is number C104 because you can special summon 104, yeah, via number 93, and then rank up into number C104, which has a very nice effect. So if Kali Yuga, for example, would be banned, then you could get into this card, which, yeah, this detergent exile material negate the activation of an opponent's monster effect as a quick effect, and then you can also send a random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard and then halve your opponent's life points, which is also a neat interaction. Or also being able to special summon number C65, which would automatically just yeah, make that the uh, the effect monster your opponent controls cannot activate their effects, which is basically Kali Yuga, but without mentioning spell and traps. But your monster effects are still alive. So if you build a number F0, it still has its effects alive, or the Utopia Ray. But let's face it, if Kali Yuga hits the field, you have so much HP. Actually, Utopia Dragna will still keep their 6,000 attack points, so it's still a very crazy beat stick because it got special summoned via the effect of Utopia Double, which gave it 6,000 attack. So even Kali Yuga can't negate the 6,000 attack points, which is crazy actually. Um, so yeah, I've talked about Astrakuribo being your other option to be able to special summon. It would be even the most expensive card from your main deck, which is quite funny because, or maybe Ascended Sage, I don't know. But these cards might be like €5 each or so. The rest is just very, very affordable. So even this is crazy because it's an affordable deck. And from your extra deck, the only expensive card, so to say, is Utopic Dragon, which goes for like $8, and Utopia Double, which goes for $7. And well, this card. Okay, this card is the obviously the most expensive. It's maybe 25. So yeah, if you don't want to play the F-Zero into Utopic Future Dragon combo, then you just cut these two cards and just maybe play these two as well, or Zeus. Zeus is also expensive. I don't know. It That's the problem of generic good cards. But the whole deck on itself functions without the F-Zero package as well. You just have to think about another winning condition, which could be then Time Thief Redoer or number 106. But yeah, the rest is very affordable, as I said. Other options could be Photon Thrasher for your free special summon, but as I'm playing Ascended Sage, I thought like these two might, yeah, just disrupt or just they cancel out each other. And this card is also quite okay. It's a free special summon if you have exactly one rank level 4 monster on board. But that's the problem. If I have Goblinberg, then obviously I'm normal summoning Goblinberg to special summon one of these guys. And then I have two monsters on board, so this card is dead in my hand. Or if I have to chain this card, then I also have two monsters already, and I can't special summon him. So for me, it's just not a good option. And I don't want to draw into ZW monsters because I also just want to be able to equip it via the Leo Utopia Ray from my deck. So this card is just not useful in my opinion. This is just an example of a level 4 monster which could be used to get into a 1 card rank 4, just so you know, but obviously I'm playing other normal summons and this is just to showcase that in general every rank 4 deck which would only play rank monsters, XZ monsters, sorry, um, could splash this into their decks. So if you get into for example, your gadget deck and you only get to special summon two monsters, two level 4 monsters, you are always in that weird scenario where you don't know what to do with those two monsters. So instead of just going into Abyss Dweller or maybe number 41 Baguska or I don't know, number 106 Giant Hand, you can special summon this card and yeah, then just special summon the number 38 and then you have number 38 at least. So it's nicer than just having nothing. You obviously need to play Utopia double and double or nothing, but let's say you're playing a rank 4 deck, you will most likely play double or nothing and Utopia double anyway to OTK your opponent. So yeah. And these are very interesting cards. So this card is obviously only OCG reliant, but you can read it there and just have it on your mind. It's interesting, but it's very limiting as well. So it's broken but limiting. Let's say it like that. This card can search you the ZS monster, but it goes -1, and I don't need to hard draw it. So it's like, okay, it's a -1. It can search you rank up cards, but mostly I'm going to search my rank up via this card, and this card will be special summoned via this card. So I don't have to search for another rank up as well. So it's just not useful. If I would play the Kali Yuga package, obviously I would play it so I can search up my rank up uh, counter trap, quick spell, quick play spell, and yeah, that's basically it. So nothing to say about that. Exchange Tactics is quite a cool card, which can also always draw you one card if you special summon a Utopia monster, and this deck will special summon 3 or 4 Utopia monsters, so this card will get you into +2 or 3, which sounds crazy on paper, I would agree. And Astraltopia can also search this card because it's an XZ card. But let me tell you what, more often than not, you will be in those situations where you um, don't want to draw into dead cards. You want to assure that you will get to your place. So you will need the level 4 extenders, you will need everything like that. I had some encounters where I draw into maybe double or nothing, the numbers protection, one of the rank ups, one level 4 monster, and this card. And I can't do anything. And if this card would have been another extender, guess what? Um, I would have been able to play because then I have two level 4s and I get into my place. So this card, more often than not, is just too much. Also, if you have seen my combo, you saw that at first I had to like go into the Utopic Sage and into Granite and then into F0 and I haven't special summoned one Utopia monster until there. So to get to that point, this card is a dead hand, dead card in my hand. And being able to draw the cards seems good on paper, but this deck is obviously going to special summon almost everything from your extra deck on turn 1, and you will not be able to. And when it's your turn, you might have already won. So having those cards in your hand look good on paper, but they don't do anything. Like they're mostly dead draws. It's just like nice, okay, I draw into it, but it's not that necessary. So you could play it as a one-off, maybe, Also, you just can control one of it, so it doesn't stack. Um, you can search it via Astrotopia. I really didn't search it. I always search number protection, and but it's there just so you know about it. And another card, which also sounds ridiculous on paper, because on my end board I had 4 number monsters. So, oh, you can draw 4 cards, so it's a +3. It's broken. Same here. To have my number Xyz monsters on my board, it takes a while. And these 2 cards aren't going to. Um, I basically can't use this card if I want to build these 2 beforehand. I can only activate it as soon as I hit F0, and then I can only draw 1 card. Or I have the broken hand, the broken board, and can draw into multiple cards. But let's say I really don't have a broken board, then I can only draw 2 cards, and the 2 cards that I draw into are not helping my board. So this card on my hand in my hand wants to be another card. Like this card makes your broken if you have a broken hand and you get to your 4 number monsters, this card is broken, obviously. But to get into your 4 number monsters on board, you have to I don't know, have to already have a good hand, you know? But if you have a bad hand and have this card won't help you to get out of that situation. And you will always want to have a free extender on board or in your hand to get it on board, to get into your place. And as I said, the cards on your hand won't change your board, won't help you. If you're playing hand traps in this build and you will cut some cards, maybe you want to play it competitively. As you've seen, I don't play any hand traps. If you want to play it competitively, you will cut a lot of cards, maybe Goblinberg entirely, maybe Mountain Butterspy at 2, maybe this card, you will cut it. I don't know, just cut these, maybe, I don't know. But then have hand traps, then this card might be very good options because you can draw into hand traps, which can stop your opponent. So keep those 2 cards in mind. They can become very powerful if you play it competitively with hand traps. But if not, this is the way I would go for it. All right, that's the whole deck. I will just press one more time onto test hand. Maybe I draw into a bad hand. I will show you what a bad hand can do. Or I draw into a semi-good hand, and you will see what a semi-good hand might end up on. Or you will see a broken hand again. I will basically do the same combo as I did before. So let's just draw into it. This is a dead hand. Okay, I didn't draw into my Utopia in my into my how is it called again? The Go 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 spell that gets me into my other Utopia, this monster. So this is a this is a dead card. This is a good card. This is a free extender. This is a free extender, and this is a good card. But obviously, I can't do anything because I don't have another Super Go 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 Dododo in my hand. Hmm. So I would obviously first of all special summon this card. Now normal summon this card to be able to special summon my Utopic Onomatopoeia. And now I have to think. If I go into my F0 package, these 2 cards with special ZS Sage will special summon another one of those. And then I would only have 2 monsters, which would be Ascended Sage twice, to get into my Gallant Granite. And then Gallant Granite would special summon a monster, okay, because it's like because I have an Earth monster, so in my grave, so the Gigantus would hit the field, and then I could build F0, and I would have a board with F0, maybe a special summoned Gigantus. Man, nah, I would keep the Gigantus in my hand, and a number protection set. So my end board would be F0 plus my numbers protection set. Which is okay. It's a good monster negate and a good omni negate. but I reckon this is not the ideal. I would I would just skip the F0 package and just make just use these two to get into my number 39 Utopia double and get into my ZW play, which I think is a bit better. So in theory, this special summon, or this normal summon was unnecessary. I could have kept this card in my hand because now this card will be dead on board. Or I could have kept this card in my hand and just normal summon this guy. So this is what happens if you just draw into, let's say, 2 level 4 monsters and don't get to special summon anything else, and your um, F0 combo is dead. You would just do this, activate it, yeah, chain it, whatever, doesn't matter. This card will be dead in our field. That's a pity because we just basically gave them a free monster now, which is obviously not what we want to. Okay, we get into this card, activate it, special, and oops, activate it, target, special, whatever. Now detach and get this card, and then just set this card. So this card would be still in our hand, so we would have still 3 cards in our hand, just to say that. If we would have gotten the free extender instead of this card, this would be still a playable hand, because we would have gotten into our F0 combo. So we would have F0, the Leo Utopia Ray, and this card, which will be very likely our end board. Like F0 with Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray, with Numbers Protection, and this card obviously, will be our end board in 90% of the cases. This is the board that might happen if we, or let's say 80%, I don't know. This is the worst board, which will happen in 80% of the cases, either without the numbers protection or just with maybe the F0. So one of those won't happen. And the other 5% will be like a board with, which I've shown you in the first combo, which would have also, on top of F0, an Abyss Dweller and the Numbers Protection, which would be the most insane board ever. Or with Abyss Dweller and without the Numbers Protection, because we didn't draw into it, or the extender wasn't a Stratopia, as I said before. And the other option is that, yeah, that we really hard brick, we didn't even get into Numbers Protection. We didn't draw into ZS Ascended Sage, so we don't get into our double or nothing and Utopia play and search a rank up. Then we would only have number 99 and number 38 on board. But that happens almost 0 times, like for real. Yeah, this is our board. This is a dead card. I didn't thought or think about it in the first place. Just realized it after I've clicked on it. But this is still a good board. Like, it's still a lot of attack. It's still a double monster negate on board and an omni negate. And enough attack to OTK opponents. So it's still good, you know? Let's just play restart and just see. Okay, there we go. We draw into basically the best board ever. So two dead cards, doesn't matter. We don't need those. It's just a free extender and these two. Like this card or the other Onomato card, and this is like one of the Onomato monsters. So we'll activate it, search for the Onomatopyra. I will see how this works. Uh, Activate it, discard a random card to get into our Gagaga code and go 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 glove. We normal summon this guy. Now obviously able to activate this card. Boom boom. Alright. So this is now a dead card actually, and we can't use it. If it would be numbers protection, we could have had the broken board, as I said before. And if this card or this card would have been Astrotopia instead of Butter Spy, then this card could have been every single other card, and we could have just discarded it. So yeah, obviously special summoning these two. And now we special summon the, oops, it's not here yet. There we go. With using these two. Oh, damn. I actually did an oopsie. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Ah, yeah, that was the oopsie. I should have special summoned it here. I think I now don't have the space for reviving both cards. Oh, damn. Okay, let's just see how it goes. Um, damn, that wasn't clever. Yeah. I won't have enough space because now obviously um this card can special summon one, which is this card, but now the Gogogo gloves can't hit the field, you know? Okay, what we can do is now use these two actually to get into our Gallant Granite. And just don't activate its effect. Oh yeah, we can activate its effect to already search our yeah, just discard anything. To already get into our Gigantes. Yeah, and now we still have an Onomat card, so Gogogo Glove can still special summon. Okay, it's not a huge problem if we don't special this Utopic Sage into this zone. It doesn't matter. That's quite good to know. So yeah, we're going to special summon these, this, there, and this card over here. We still have our free extender. Special summon it afterwards. Um, now let's actually special summon it right now. All right. Get into our Abyss Dweller. All right. And yeah, now we go into our Utopia play. Um, yep. And yep. And yep. See, you really need one, otherwise you won't be able to special summon him. Um, yeah, this rank up. Activate it. See ya. Nope. Special summon. Where is it? Whoa, there. Activate. No. This is obviously always annoying, but yeah, it's whatever. Target this card. Nope. And yeah, like that. Whatever. And activate it. Nope. And yeah, equip this. So basically, this is the almost the exact same board as the broken board, except for we didn't draw into our counter trap or into Astrotopia, so we don't have the crazy Omni Negate counter trap. But this is still a crazy nice board with one monster Omni Negate, two monster on-field negates, one that can't be responded, and this is like the um, crazy floodgate effect. So yeah, this is still a crazy hand, crazy board. Just so you see it. Let's just do one more, just to see maybe we get a very bad hand. This is a very bad hand. This is actually a very bad hand. Like Gigantes, you don't want to hard draw. This card you don't want to hard draw. This card you want to hard draw, but just if you have the free extenders. Okay, we got Onoma to pick up. So this is another good example for a hand that we can actually simulate. We don't want to discard the Gigantes because Gigantes is still a free special summon. Um, so we want to discard this card, which is a dead card. This card can still be used. So we're actually going to be able to make a good board with numbers protection. Like it's basically the same board that we've seen right now. I already know the end board, except for instead of Abyss Dweller, we will have numbers protection. So it's still a very, very good hand. And that's what I always try to tell people that this deck is so consistent that no matter what, if you know how to play this deck, you will get to your boards. You will get to your crazy end boards. This is basically what happens. So yeah, doesn't matter actually. Just two of those, or it doesn't matter. You just need one of those. So yeah, normal summon this guy. Yep. Get to special summon him, activating its effect. Special summon Gogo Glove. Now Gogo Glove will special summon itself whenever he is still on board. So we will use Gogo Glove and Goblin Berg to get into our number XE monster, and then we still have Onomatopoeia on our field, so it's still alive. So yeah, we'll get into our F0 combo right now. So Utopic Sage, using these two. All right, activating its effect. Now it's in the grave. Perfect. Send it Sage. Activate it. And now we have these two. Obviously, Gallant Granite. Gallant Granite now has the problem that it can't search Gigantes. So yeah, maybe this could have been another crazy card, but it's what it is. We still use it to get our Go Dwarf in our grave, so Gigantes would be alive. To search out whatever. Go Love again. Yeah. And now we get the free special summon. Okay, we have Goblinberg in our grave, but let's say we had another free extender which wasn't an Earth, then we would always banish Go Glove, so we will still do it like that. And now we're in the number 39 Utopia double package combo with the Ascended Sage. So yeah, just activate it again. Yeah, just activate it again. Whatever. Really doesn't matter what you discard because the effects already have been activated. And yeah, discard. And now we get into our Zexil rank up. Perfect. And yeah, activate it. And Utopia. There we go. You could actually equip it. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, why not? Then it has the extra effect that it can negate a targeting effect on itself. Yeah, let's just do it because we discarded it before. Like obviously this won't happen. That's what I said. Like sometimes that can happen, so you can actually use its effect, but it's not always going to work. Oh yeah, actually true. I totally forgot that we obviously have this card. Yeah, activate this and the rank up. And there you go. As I said, I already knew my end board because I know this deck so well, and you have to play it a lot, but then you might know everything. And I told you everything about every single card, so you know about everything. So just pay attention to everything. Don't misplay. Take your time. Don't do it as fast as me, maybe. And yeah, then you get into end boards that look like this. Uh, and you still have two cards in your hand. Um, it's just it's insane. Like again, these two on-field monster omni negates. Yeah, on-field negates. These two. This one that is the omni monster negate, and you have a zone, so you can special summon. Nice. And this is a omni negate for everything. So yeah, just another broken board, as you see. And every single board was a bit different, but with every single hand, you have to figure out what will be your end board. And the good thing is that every single test hand that I now had actually gave me another end board and actually had to be played in a different way. So now we have basic knowledge of every single hand. And yeah, this is another broken hand. This is a bad draw. But now that would be another example for a hand where you have to actually, yeah, special summon another thing. And you don't get into your number 39. So this is into your numbers protection. This will be your end board as we have seen it just before this end board with the Abyss Dweller and the and yeah, your broken end board, but um, without the counter trap. And your Onomato monster, your Leo Utopia Ray won't have this on-field monster negate, but will have the extra deck card. Yeah, let's just play it so you can see what I mean. Okay, activate it. Discard the dead card, which is the Onomato card here. Ah, yeah, obviously, bruh. We will still do this because we want to actually get rid of cards in our deck. So yeah, as we have Go 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 Glove, we will search Gagaga Code and Onomatopoeia. This will be a free special summon in any case. So yeah, let's just do the whole combo. Activate it. Nice. And now leave the Gagaga Code on board. Important. Swoop. We can already special summon him, so we don't. We can special summon it later. Doesn't matter. Yeah. No, okay. I said I want to maintain Gagaga Code on board, and I used it for my XZ summon. Obviously, Gagaga Code will be still on board. Oh, damn, that was so stupid. Okay. Yeah, Gagaga Code would also be able to special summon the Onomat card, and then Gogogo Glove has a target to also be special summoned. Now this is a now I just misplayed. Let's face it. Um, now we don't get to special summon any of both. Like we don't get to use the Gagaga Code to special summon the Onomatopoeia, and Onomatopoeia wouldn't be on board, so then we can special summon our Gagaga Glove from our grave. This is worst case scenario. If you do an error like that, don't do it, first of all. But if you do it, it's still a playable hand. Like honestly, it's still not bad. Like you can still make the F-Zero play and you get to your free special summon. So you still have something. It's actually, as crazy as it sounds, it's still with two less monsters, we don't get into Abyss Dweller. That's obviously the benefit of having those cards that will special summon both. So you get into your Abyss Dweller play. But now as you misclicked or misplayed, you don't. But it's still a good board, just without the Abyss Dweller. Yeah. And without the second monster negate, but that's just because we draw into it. So that's why I also want to play the ZW in my extra deck, because sometimes you draw into this card and then you're just like basically screwed. So you don't want that to happen. Let's just play it very quickly. Still, it's a pity that it just takes so much time uh, to do this whole thing. I would just like to press a quicker button just to get into whatever. Go ahead. Quick, 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 quick. Okay. Yeah. You would just have to imagine that Abyss Dweller would be on board as well. Like, that's the thing. Um, and F-Zero, but F-Zero I will get into F-Zero right now. Let me just do it. All right. All right. So, yeah. Now we would have Abyss Dweller here. As you've seen the other combo. You know what I mean. Um, you already saw the combo, so it's not a huge problem. But even if you would misplay like me, this is still a playable board. Yeah. And now you would activate it to equip this card, and now he has 5,500, as I said, and this card can be special summoned if this card battles an opponent monster and destroys it, and then this card, as it's in a battle phase, can also attack another monster, but can't attack directly. This card, this is also quite nice. Like, it's like two negates, it's not the best, but you have a lot of attack, and you don't have the Abyss Dweller. So Abyss Dweller would obviously enhance this board by a mile, and don't having the second negate also hurts, and not having the number counter trap also hurts. But For a misplayed hand, this is still quite good, I would say. Let's just do one more. Okay, this is also like, again, this is full combo. Yeah, this is straight up full combo. We don't even need to go into the ZS Sage because we also draw into that card. But we have so many extenders as well. It's quite insane. So these three cards would already be sufficient. Um, or these two and this card also. This card just needs to discard any card. So this is also, again, full combo. Do I have to play this or do you already know how to play it? You activate this, discard, for example, the Goblinberg, and then you get to special search the other two of these guys. Then you normal summon the Onomato guy to special summon these two. Then you take the Go 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 Gloves and the Onomato guy to special summon the Satis Sage. Satis Sage special summons the Ascended Sage from your deck, and then you would be able to activate Gagaga Code to special summon the Onomato guy, and the Onomato guy is then on board, so your Go Glove can special summon it because the Onomato guy is on board. Then you take, like, for example, Onomato guy and Glove to get into your um, rank 4 Gallant Granite, activate its effect, search the um, Gigantes, then you go into F0, and then you special summon Gigantes. Gigantes with your maybe Gagaga code that is still on board. You get into your Abyss Dweller, and then you can special summon your Head Tricker from your hand, and you still have the Ascended Sage. So you use Ascended Sage and Head Tricker to go into your Utopia Double, and then Utopia Draconar. You don't even have to search your rank up card, which is quite good. So you can search your other rank up card, so you have it in hand for next turn, so you can OTK your opponent and stuff like that. With number 100, as I told you, because why I'm playing number 100, you get to Utopic Dragon, and then you special summon the number 39 Utopia Double, and then you activate your rank up Zexal Force, and you have the Leo Utopia Ray with your other monster on field negate with a ZW Pegasus there. And then you have the almost same board, this almost the same broken board as I showed you in my first hand, but without number protection. Yeah, so this is also full combo because you draw into this, this, and this. That's also something that can happen, as I said. That's why you played it everything at 3. If you draw into these 3, that's basically as drawing into your spell, either the continuous or your onomatopoeia directly. And this is your free extender that you need. So this is the same end board as the one that I've told you right now. So yeah, this is also a broken board. This is let's see. You don't have a free level 4 extender, which is unfortunate. So you basically will get instead of your Abyss Dweller board, you will get into your number 39 protection. So numbers protection. So it's still the same board as before with F0 and everything and the ZW package, but the ZW will, again, instead of having the Pegasus, your other card, and you won't have Abyss Dweller because you didn't draw into another level 4 extender, but therefore you have the numbers protection, so it's still a crazy good board. That's also the same board as I've talked about right now. It's like these three gets you into your whole F0 plays. You don't have the level 4 extender, so you don't get into your Abyss Dweller. So, yeah, but at least you get into your ZW monster Pegasus from your deck, so it's a bit better, and you have your numbers protection, so it's still a good board. Also broken. Even if you hard draw into Gigantes, it's like you have a level 4 extender, which is the Blue Mountain Butter Spy, and you have one of the Gagaga monsters, and this card can discard this card. So it's basically your full board with Abyss Dweller and F0 and Leo Utopia Ray, but without the numbers protection. This is also full combo because you have your level 4 extender. You have this card and one of the utopic monsters, and this is your discard for this card, for the Onomatopoeia. Obviously, drawing into Gigantes is all not good, but it's like, okay, it's not a huge deal. Um, but it's still the full board without the numbers protection. Um, this is interesting. I play it as a 2-off just to not draw into multiples, and that happens. That's a bit unfortunate. This is like, it's still good, and this will still get you in your because this one can special summon him, and this is a free special summon. So these three will get into your board. Um, so you will get into your ZW into your F0 play, plus the ZW monster um, with also the ZW Pegasus, but without the numbers protection and without the Abyss Dweller. For Abyss Dweller, you would need another extender. Yeah, but still good. This is ooh. This is already the same that we've talked about before, but you have two extenders. Like, no, we have three extenders. So these two can be special summoned in the end, because both can be special summoned for free, and then it will actually make your same board with the Abyss Dweller, but again without the um, counter trap, numbers protection. I wanted to ask, when do I draw into Astrotopia? And there I draw into Astrotopia. So this card already gives me access to my numbers protection. On auto pickup will search me two of those monsters, and this is a free extender. So and this is the discard cost for, or even this card can be discard cost for this card. Then, yeah, we can. I would obviously discard the double or nothing, so we get to keep our Astrotopia in our hand, one of those, because the special summon is only once per turn, unfortunately. If it wouldn't, then we could have our full board with the Abyss Dweller and the numbers protection. This time around, we only get to our yeah the board without numbers protection, but the board without Abyss Dweller, but with numbers protection actually. If I'm not mistaken, or am I? I mean, we get into two. Let's just do it. I'm pretty sure that we will have one monster will be missing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one monster will be missing to get into. Ah, this is a cool combo that Astrotopia can actually also remove this card to search our numbers protection, which is quite cool. Um, so I'm quite sure that one monster would be missing to get into our Abyss Dweller, but it's still a good board. Yeah. Yeah, double or nothing. It doesn't matter. Okay. And also, if you hard draw into two of those, or into this card, plus the Gagaga code, or this card and Gagaga code, it doesn't matter, it's still full combo. Okay, normal summon. And this will be my last test hand. You have already seen it, it's crazy consistent, and I don't have to further my point because I have already did so many um, hands, and I'm obviously aware of what I'm talking, and I know what I'm talking about. So yeah. So Utopic Stage, letting this card on board because we want to special summon the Gogogo Glove from our graveyard. If we would have had the Gagaga code, then we would have kept the Gagaga code, and Gagaga code would have special summoned our Onomatopoeia from grave. So it really doesn't matter which one. And also, Gagaga Code would have been able to special summon the Gagaga Glove, or other way around, Gagaga Code can special summon itself when Gagaga Glove is on field, so they can both special summon themselves, and you would have also kept Gagaga Code on your board to be able to special summon Gagaga Glove from your grave, or the other way around, kept Gagaga Code on board. Uh, no, it's the same thing, but either Gagaga Code would special summon Gagaga Glove from grave, or Gagaga Glove would special summon itself because it got code on board, if that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Um, yeah, just gonna activate this. All right, Gallant Granite. Yeah, I can already see that one XD monster is one level 4 monster is missing. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? So, because only one of those can be special summoned. Um, Now, if I would special summon this card and go into Abyss Dweller, there would be one level 4 missing to get into my Ascended Sage and number 39 Utopia. So that's what I was referring to before. So I'm actually doing this. Obviously, if one of those would be another extender, that could be also quite good. But it's not the case. Um, yeah, okay. This video is very, very long. I'm sorry, but it's like the ultimate guide to everything. Everything you need to know, basically. Okay, so I'm gonna special summon this because this one has 1300 defense. So I'm actually going to keep this one on board, just to have the biggest body on board. Now activate it, de deleting this to get my numbers protection. And that's what I meant. I always search numbers protection. Um, and make this play now. Yeah, this is like basically the combo to get into my ZW monster again with the number 99 and stuff like that. Basic combos. And now you see why I'm playing the double or nothing at 2. Yeah. Yeah, just finishing off the combo very quickly. I would have liked to have a very, very bad hand, but it's very unlikely to have a bad hand, which is quite cool, but it's like frustrating to show then what would happen if you have a bad hand. But it's like, in theory, it's like very good to not have bad hands. All right. Yeah, equipping it and setting this, and then you have your basic good board. Yeah, number 99 and this card, both beat stakes with their own effects. Omni negate, Omni monster. On field monster negates these two. This is the Omni monster negate, and this is the Omni negate in general. So yeah, if we would have had another extender, we could have used the Gigantes to actually, yeah, being able to, yeah, basically get into our Abyss Dweller, but that's what it is. Yeah, this is this is another good and playable hand. Like, obviously you don't want to draw into this, but and we didn't draw either into the spells nor into any of the Gagaga monsters, but that's not a huge deal because even these don't conflict. This is a free special summon. This is a normal summon that can special summon a monster. But this card already special summon itself if you normal summon a monster. So even if you would have another level 4, you would get every level 4 on board. It's crazy. That's how good it is. Um, yeah, and you get into your uh, F-Zero plays. Do you? Let me think about it. Do you get into your F-Zero plays? Um, you have 3 monsters on board. You use these two to get into Ascended Sage, special summon a monster. No, then you have to choose Ascended Sage. Nah, this is like the first board that we had. Like you would really need the fourth level 4 monster. So instead of rank up magic Sexual Force, that would be a random level 4 monster. Then this would get you into your broken board without Abyss Dweller. But now that I see this, you don't get into your F-Zero. No, this is like one of the worst case scenario where you don't get into your F-Zero. Or you get into your F-Zero, but then it's just like F-Zero and numbers protection. Thus, you have to be able to think around it. Um, yeah, so obviously we would go with these two, for example. Normal summon this to special summon this, and you will keep your Goblinberg. Or special summon this, normal summon this, but just keeping the Blue Mountain Butterspy. And then just using these two to get into your number 39 and blah blah blah, and your ZW monster, and then set numbers protection and pass. Yeah, that would be the whole thing. And the Ascended Sage would search you the other rank up. So it's actually the worst case scenario where you only get to have Utopia Draconar uh, the other number 99, Utopic Dragon, then your ZW Utopia Ray with the ZW and the numbers protection. So you would have two on-field monster negates and the counter trap. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Yeah, this is a broken hand as well. You get to draw into that, which is kind of ass. But you have your other free extender. So this is the hand that we had before with the level 4 extender. The level 4 extender, um, for example, being the Gagaga code or whatever. And the best thing about this is that our dead hand, a dead card, can be used to search our numbers protection with Astrotopia. So this will be our good end board with F0, with the number 39, with the... Let's just play this as the last hand and just show you that this is still good. The problem is that the card that we discard via Stratopia is actually the worst card we could have hoped for, because it's actually um, the we have to equip the other ZW. But yeah, let's just do it. I want some of this effect and effect. Both work. Yep. Good, good, good. Very important that everything works. Um, so yeah, now we don't even have to forge. I have clicked onto Gallant Granite before. That wasn't that clever. But it doesn't matter. As I said, like right now we don't even have to care about if we use Gallant Granite beforehand or... Oh, I almost missed that. Oh, it was actually very important. And it was actually very important that I discarded Goblinberg without even noticing it. We could have also used this card, but oof, that was clutch. That was... I almost screwed that up, I have to say. But yeah, we're still in full combo. We get into this card right now and then get into the Ascended Sage, so everything is fine. But I almost screwed that up. Gotta say, it was quite crazy. Uh, yeah, it's just special summon right now. It doesn't matter. Okay, and yeah, it's basically full combo like F0 here. Then these cards will get me into my uh number into my Leo Utopia Ray, equipped with the monster from the extra deck, but it's fine. Um, we've drawn into the Pegasus a lot of times. Normally it doesn't happen. It's a one-off, so it's only one of 8 hands. But we've drawn into like 3 times out of the 8 hands that we might have done. So kind of unlucky there, but just happens. All right, just finishing the combo. So we still see one last good board, and that's it. So as you see, it's very consistent. And if we would have those draw cards instead, we would have always cry about not having the extenders to get into these decks, these boards. So that's what I told you. It's very, very unfortunate. Oh, no, 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 don't special summon it like that. Oof, I almost screwed that up. Oof, 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 oof. Yeah, that's that's not good if that happens. Don't get distracted by something that is blinky blinky. All right. I mean, it's still so good. Like honestly, it's it's not even remotely close to being bad. It's just so good. Like Utopia is actually playable with 5/5. Perfect. That's what is this? Another Omni Negate monster, on-field monster, 2 beat sticks with the effect of getting to one of your opponent's monsters to 0 attack, and your obviously Omni Negate counter trap, which comes back if a number monster will be destroyed. Guys, I'm very thankful that you've seen all of this video. It was a long journey, and I'm really sorry that I've talked so much, but I really wanted to show you everything about this deck and really highlight every single detail and everything you would maybe consider in this deck. And I'm very glad that you sticked onto these videos for so long, and I hope it helped you a lot. And see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.